WTUG HD2 Northport and W265CG Tuscaloosa. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app. WTUG HD2 Northport and W265CG Tuscaloosa. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Alabama 1st and 10 on the 12. Again, Houston. He's got a hole. He's over. Alabama touchdown.
I've just wondered if your listeners know how good a football player you were. I can still see you playing that fullback, knocking those players out of the way, and that. I believe I could have run behind you.
Martin, I can remember when we played the summer, and you were playing quarterback up there, and I saw you in the weight room and watched you work out in the weight room. And you could pick up, you were strong enough to pick up the whole weight room. I really respect it, and I learned that thing back biggest mistake we ever made.
The Martin Houston Show with national championship winning fullback Martin Houston, giving you 1 hour of intense, hard-hitting analysis from an insider's perspective. It's time for the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Good morning. Welcome into the Martin Houston Show on Tide 100.9. On your radio dial, you can also find us on Facebook at Tide 109 on Facebook, as well as Martin Houston Live on Facebook and on YouTube, and at Martin Houston 35 on Twitter. We're glad to be back in full swing of things this morning. Glad to have you back with us. I got a great show lined up for you. I want to invite you to get in on the conversation. 205 342 9904. 205 342 9904. Taco Casa Hotline is open for business. I want to remind you that this is a day that the Lord has made, so let's rejoice and be glad in it. Take some time today to notice someone, love someone, serve someone, be the difference you want to see in the world today. DC will not be joining us today, so the phone lines are there for your enjoyment, pleasure, and for you to get in all the conversation you want to get in on today. I also want to take a moment and thank Mason and Ryan for a great show yesterday. I was fortunate that I was really surprised that I was able to be on the entire show, driving and traveling to the back roads of Alabama. It doesn't always give you good signal, but I at least managed to have it for the entirety of the show. But glad to be back in the studio today and getting things going. So thank you, Mason. Thank you, Ryan. I had some topics that we got into yesterday. Probably didn't get as deep as we could have on several of those. So we're welcome to revisit those if you would like to. Talking about March Madness, the Final Four. I mean, as crazy as March Madness is, and as crazy as the brackets were busted, Mason, are the bracket? I mean, there's a lot of people that had these four, right? So it's crazy.
Blue Blood Invitational.
Right. I mean, as crazy as March Madness is, it's it still pretty much ended up back reset, right? It was a lot of fun getting here, but if the committee was picking the Final Four the way they do in basketball, in football, let me see, who wouldn't be here? Gonzaga would probably be there, right? North Carolina may not be there. But I mean, these four, as you call them, blue bloods, would have a high percentage of the brackets and all of that stuff. But but hey, at the end of the season, these guys were not the ones playing well. Duke started playing well once the season ended and have played extremely well into the tournament. So is North Carolina. So it's still interesting that it gets back to pretty much as you call them, four blue buds. I do, Mason, want you to hold on to a one and done thought for me. Okay, remind me. I want to set up just a couple more potential topics, and we're going to come back and talk about one and done related to Alabama basketball. So don't let me forget that. I also want to encourage you. Hey, listen, kudos as another Barker has joined the Crimson Tide in women's basketball. So hey, maybe Joe, Mason, the deep run into the NIT, maybe it helped women's basketball as a former Georgia Bulldog and daughter of Alabama quarterback legend Jay Barker. Sarah Ashley Barker announced Monday that she would be transferring to the Tide. That's a big deal. I'm not sure she's not the most athletic of the Barker crew. She led the Bulldogs this past year with 35 threes. So definitely an improvement, Mason, in terms of the basketball program for Alabama basketball. We'll watch and see how that plays out this offseason and into the new season. I can't remember. Was it? No, it was Joe that I asked. Let me ask you this, Mason. If you were building a program, would you rather be bounced, get to the big dance, and bounce in round one, or would you rather, based on building a program, meaning you're going to have some players coming back and different things like that, would you rather make a deep run into the NIT if you're early in your coaching career and building a program?
So just so I'm clear, it's either a deep run to the NIT or getting bounced early in the tournament.
Bounced in round, not bounced in the first game of the round of 64, or would you rather make a deep run into an NIT if you're building a program?
That one's kind of tough because I think it's a little bit circumstantial because I think if you're in a situation like this year, where you're like Texas A&M, where you close the season really strong, you have put up a good performance in the SEC tournament, and then kind of felt like you were snubbed a little bit for the NCAA tournament, then I feel like a deep run of the NIT can kind of galvanize the team and get them ready for next year, kind of get a lot of hype going into it. But if you are a team that for sure just was not going to make the tournament and you kind of just get an NIT berth, I don't think that helps a lot with building.
Interesting. I think practice and playing, if you get thrown in there, to me, now Texas A&M wouldn't have been a throw-in. To me, Texas A&M was playing. Texas A&M should have been in before Alabama, based on the way the season played out, in my opinion. I look at this Bama team and go, yeah, we beat teams early, but we were one of the worst teams in the country, and if not the worst, one of the worst team in the SEC. And if you take the last month or so of the season, right? Who was worse than Alabama down the stretch?
I mean, I know Georgia beat us, but that's still a worse team than Alabama.
Not, other than Georgia, right, down the stretch. And we were just as – we lost, 5 out of the last 7, 4 in a row. Just when you think about it. But when you're a number 6 seed, you want the March Madness, right? If you're building a program and you get a number 6 seed, because that helps you in recruiting. Yeah, you're a number 6 seed. Hey, and you can tell the recruits, hey, we're just one recruit away. You're a 16 seed, get bounced early, and you got a bunch of guys coming back. Maybe an NIT run? I don't know. I mean, I think I would rather early now. Not. I'm not talking about a coach who's been in a program 4 or 5 years, right? I'm talking about that first, second, maybe third year. You may take more games, and that brings me to my point, Mason. Alabama potentially has their fourth one and done in a row. Colin Sexton. Well, Kyrie wasn't one and done, was he? He came back for his second year. So, but then we had Primo and now JD Davison, right? Guys leaving early, 1 year or 2 years. You know, it, when you look at that, Mason, do you think? I think that the success of one and done programs is overhyped. And let me throw this out there, and we'll get the break and come back and talk about it. When was the last time Coach K made it to the Final Four? Before this year? 2015. When did Coach K start taking one and done players? I don't know if it was 2015, but it was around that time, right? Remember, he resisted that whole, we're not going to try to go out and get the number one recruit. We're going to build programs, right? Remember that? He was, and Coach Cal was in that whole I'm going to get the one and done. I'm going to rebuild my team every year. Well, Coach Cal's won one national title. One. And people put him in the same conversation as Nick Saban. He's won one national title, okay? And that makes me think, is the Final Four, just getting to the Final Four, does that make you feel as good about your basketball program as winning a national championship does in football? And, if a coach makes it to Final Fours, he is respected as the coach in football that makes it to national titles. And is one and done. Can programs do it successfully? And is that going to hurt Alabama basketball? Are we going to be excited about talent, but really not break any glass ceilings that we haven't had? Are we going to feel like, oh, we have a chance, Will we get beyond the glass ceiling of, the Elite Eight that has escaped us for so many years? So we'll talk about that. We got Curtis Lewis on the phone. We asked a poll question last week that I have not got to go back and talk about. So we'll talk about that. It was a would you rather question. That would you rather have another in 2023? Would you rather have a Bama football national title, or just getting either I asked Final Four because that's, like I said, that's what seems to matter in basketball. It's getting to the Final Four. Which one would you rather have? And that's somewhere Alabama's never been in basketball, never been to the Final Four. The Auburn people have that over us. Which one would you rather have? That poll question was asked last week. If you want to talk about it, I'm going to give you the results on the other side. If you want to talk about it, give us a call at 205-342-9904.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
From the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center, no active wrecks. Traffic is pretty heavy on the interstate eastbound between Tuscaloosa and Birmingham this morning. If you see conditions, just give me a call, 205-886-8886. Just 3 days remain to take advantage of the tremendous savings at the month-end clearance. Townsend Nissan, they're your hometown dealer. I'm Captain Ray.
Dell's semi-annual sale is the perfect opportunity for a significant business upgrade. Save up to 45% on Dell computers with Windows 11 Pro and get an easy start to your workday. Plus, enjoy special pricing on Dell docks, monitors, servers, and more, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today to find the right tech for your business with fast, free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Parents, do you want your child's shoes to fit perfectly? Then you need to get your kids Skechers Stretch Fit shoes, because Skechers Stretch Fit shoes easily slip on and fit almost like a sock. And not only do they fit like a dream, they perform like one too. Skechers Stretch Fit keeps your child's feet comfortable all day long with Skechers exclusive air-cooled memory foam. Plus, you'll love just how durable they are. And if they get dirty, just pop them in the washing machine. Skechers Stretch Fit shoes. Find them at a Skechers store near you, Skechers.com, or wherever kids' shoes are sold.
It's the Tuscaloosa Community Calendar, brought to you by Pepsi.
The Tuscaloosa Gauntlet, a marine-inspired 5K obstacle course race, is set for Saturday, April 9th at the Buddy Powell Pavilion near Sokol Park. This first-time event is hosted by the Alabama Marines Foundation in partnership with Para and Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports. The course is open and welcome to all. For details, log on to TuscaloosaGauntlet.com. For details, log on to TuscaloosaGauntlet.com.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The weather turning warmer today, partially sunny with a high of 83. Tonight, mostly fair with a low of 57. Tomorrow, warm and windy. Thunderstorms are possible by late afternoon. Continuing tomorrow night, those storms could be severe, the high 83. I'm James Steen of the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 55 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Scott Smith at Sophomart Design, doing business for 17 plus years, specializing in graphic design services, commercial printing, promotional products, advertising specialties, and so much more. Basically, any and everything you would need to advertise, promote, and grow your business. Through strong partnerships, strong customer service, and creative ideas, they'll help you market and grow your business. Give Scott a call at 205-292-4680 or email scottis@comcast.net and visit him online at sophmartdesign.com.
Interact with the Martin Houston Show by calling us at 205-342-9904. Tuning into the Martin Houston Show on Facebook.
You're back in with the Martin Houston Show. It's a beautiful morning. We're glad to have you on with us. If you want to get in on the conversation, 205-342-9904. Taco Casa Hotline open for business. We got Curtis Lewis. Curtis, you're in with the Martin Houston Show. What's on your mind, sir?
Sure. It's in the Final Four last year.
Do what now?
Who was in the Final Four last year?
I don't know.
Exactly. My point exactly. But I didn't say who the national champion last year. I said who the national champion 10 years ago. Well, nobody knows who was in the Final Four last year or 4 years ago. So I'd definitely rather have a national champion.
But
everybody knows who won it. And a lot of times we didn't even know who won it for 2 years ago in basketball.
Yeah.
That's still here and there for us. So,
yeah. Let me see if I can remember. It was Baylor, Houston, Gonzaga. Who else, Mason? Who was the fourth one? UCLA that beat. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. hey, I know this. The only two that repeated into the Elite Eight were UCLA and Houston, of course. But anyway, but Curtis, the poll question. Like I said on my show, when I asked that question live, like it was a couple callers, and Joe and I think Michaela. They all said they would rather have the Final Four for Bama fans. The poll question, it was 79% to 21% national title. I had several people asking me saying, is this a trick question? I was like, no, it's not a trick question. but I mean, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. The only reason, and one person did ask a question, Curtis. They said, well, why did you not say national title? I said, because it seems to be it's just like this. To me, it's about, okay, we feel good about Nate Oates because we made it to the tournament back to back. So, okay. So the measuring stick in basketball is different, in my opinion. It's okay. Hey, first time in 15 years we made it to back-to-back tournaments. But even though we got bounced this year in the first round, we've never made it to a Final Four. If we make it to, put it like this, Nate Oates, if he gets this basketball program to a single Final Four, will be viewed as what at Alabama in terms of basketball?
The best coach we've ever had in basketball.
With what? With what title?
Oh, there's no title.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And that banner would go up. And I'm not knocking basketball. C.J. Watson said, I think the Final Four is the measuring stick in basketball. Cal has taken Kentucky to 4 Final Fours. And he has a national championship. And he took UMass and Memphis to the Final Four. So he's virtually untouchable. He has how many national titles in his coaching career? And they speak of him, one, right?
Yeah.
And they speak of him in the same breath in coaching accomplishments as Nick Saban sometimes. I mean, I'm like, really?
But that's Kentucky. We're not Kentucky. And also know for the fans,
I'm talking
Kentucky fans now. They're like the Georgians going out to Frankenstein with 2 strips. They're trying to kill Cal. Every time Kentucky loses, and that's every year, they are out to get rid of Cal. Every single time. And it's not like it's just a few of the little factions. It's almost like the fan base is just up and on. But like you said, he's only won it one time. So why are you mad at him now? He's doing the same thing he's done the year before.
Right.
If we get to the point where we get to a Final Four, yes, that coach would be the best coach in the history of Alabama basketball. Yes. Look how we look at Will Sanderson. We think Will Sanderson was great. Well, not we. A lot of people do not know. But if you look at Will's record, we're fucking winning the SEC every year or every other year. We're fucking winning the SEC tournament and going to the dance.
Yep.
But that's not because he was winning the SEC. So a lot of that goes into context. But now, just like with the question you asked, well, you just asked it today, you asked it before. Would you rather go make a deep run in the NIT, or would you rather get bounced in the first round of the real tournament? And of course, I don't want to make it to the NIT, which is the losers tournament. And also, Rams got the plastic trophy, and then you want to go for the brass ring. You got bounced going for the brass. Okay, that's great. We was in there though. We had a chance. We don't have a chance at nothing in the NIT other than saying you got the national championship for the Knicks.
Right. So, but let me condition that with you're building your program though. And I mean, there's teams that they have zero chance. I don't care who they are, they have zero chance. I wouldn't want it if I'm like in maybe my 3rd year, definitely not after my 4th year. But my first couple of years where would I rather squeak into the March Madness? Maybe because of the recruiting. That's the only reason I would say that. The recruiting element of I've made it to the big dance. And that just, once again, I told you, that shows you the different level of basketball. If you get into the dance, if you're one of the best 64 teams in basketball, you're viewed as having a successful season. If you're a top 10 team, but you're not in football, so what? Unless you're the top 4, right? So, it used to be, at least when you got to the New Year's Day Bowl, you used to be considered having a successful season in football. Now it's just all about, the playoffs. So, that's why I wish they would expand the playoffs. That's a sidebar conversation, but that's a sidebar conversation, because think about that. In football, you could be top 6 and it's not viewed as a great season. Let me see if you concur with this statement that Virgil Williams said, Curtis, and I'll let you go. He said, that's the difference in culture now. Sanderson, as good as he was, never got past the Sweet 16. The one Elite 8 we have was by Gottfried, which some say wasn't a great coach. Now with Oates, we have fans saying Final Four or bust. And if he can't do it, get rid of him. It's a sad time to be a coach. Got fans talking like that, then having to deal with the transfer portal to top it all off. What are your thoughts on that?
Life changes. Life comes at you fast.
Yep.
So, at this point now, you're not going after things that was great 20 years ago. Those things that were great 20 years ago are now mundane now.
Yep.
One thing that's great now are championships. Getting Stanley, we made it to the Sweet 16 5 times in a row. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Where's the trophy? What you get for that? You get anything for that? Okay, so we're not going to remember you. But show me that guy who won that championship back in 2010. Oh, my goodness. Who was the 2010 national champion? Auburn. Somebody's going to remember who was the 2010 national champion in basketball. Nobody cares. It's basketball.
No. Curtis, you're hard, man. A national championship in basketball is a big deal. Come on. Give them a little love, man.
Who won in 2010 in basketball?
I don't know. I don't know who. I don't know who won it in football, but hey, but but you can always go back and look up the national championship. No one's gonna ever go back and search who made the Sweet 16. I don't know if anybody searches the Final Four, but I guess they do. I guess so. I guess it goes without saying you rather have another national championship than Alabama making it to the Final Four. All right.
We'll make it to the Final Four.
All right. Thanks, Curtis. Did you say you don't care if they ever make it?
No, I said there's no trophy for that. I don't care if we ever make it Final Four. That doesn't float my boat.
What about us winning the national championship? If we get to the national championship, how do you feel about that in basketball?
Oh, if we win a national championship, we got to put them up there in the ring right there with the rest of the coaches in front of a Denny.
We're gonna put
in front of Denny. We can have the biggest statue up there because he climbed the biggest mountain that we've ever seen at that point.
There you go.
Man.
All right. Have a good one, man. Thanks, Curtis. All right. Mason, thoughts, man, on that before we transition? We're going to talk a little pro day and a little football. What do you think about if we get a national championship in basketball, do they deserve a trophy at Bryant-Denny, at Coleman Coliseum, and maybe even at the President's Mansion?
Yeah.
God,
I want a Final Four berth so bad, Martin. Like I have grown up in this era of Alabama football where we have just outright dominated. I mean, I started watching, when I was about, I don't know, at 9 years old. I started really, really paying attention to it, and that was Saban's second season, 2007 or 2008, and I mean, we've just dominated. Like, I want to see basketball get to the level that football has been at, and I think a Final Four berth would be obviously a step in that direction.
Let me ask you this: when you look at this whole basketball, football conversation, I'm gonna hold that question to the other side. Let me read CJ's thoughts, and then I'm gonna hold that question to the other side. I think Saban has clouded our view of success. Curtis, you could get rid of Cal. He is in the coaching circle, basketball-wise, with Dabo, multiple Final Fours, national champion, multiple conference titles, constantly a 1, 2, or 3 seed. But Dabo has what? Dabo would have what? 4 national titles. He lost to Alabama what? Twice or 3 times? 2 in the championship game and twice in the playoffs, something like that. He would have 4 national titles if there was no Nick Saban. I think Kirby would have 2, at least 2, maybe 3. So different coaches are beating Cal, and I guess that's kind of the question. But let me go ahead and answer that question and give people a chance to think about it. Who's been the most dominant program in the last 5 to 6 years in basketball? Who's been the most dominant program in basketball in the last 5, 6 years? 6 years. Let's say 6 years. Well, answer that question or give our thoughts. I want you to give your thoughts on that, Mason. Give you a chance to think about it. And then we'll transition to some spring practice. It is spring practice here. So that tells you just what Nate Oates has done, that we're hungry. He has made us hungry for basketball to be successful. And that's where it starts. That's where it starts. Come back on the other side. We'll continue the conversation right here on the Martin Houston Show.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
From the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center, no active wrecks, things moving pretty well. The interstate is pretty heavy out toward Mercedes. If you see other conditions, just give me a call. Just 3 more days to take advantage of the tremendous savings month-end clearance at Townsend Nissan. They're your hometown dealer. Go see them. You'll save. I'm Captain Ray.
This tax filing season could be one for the record books. There are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits on the table, and Jackson Hewitt will help make sure you get every one you deserve. Tax credits for being a parent, taking care of a parent, taking classes, and so much more. Don't leave thousands on the table. Jackson Hewitt will make sure you get credit for all you do and get your biggest refund guaranteed. Learn more and find your nearest location at jacksonhewitt.com.
This is Fogelman, man to hustle for that muscle.
Membership numbers at Sly's Gym have been racking up.
22 people have signed up for 6 a.m. buzzer Steve.
Now he needs more certified trainers to do all the heavy lifting.
I'm going to have to bulk up my staff.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Alabama Securities Commission protects you from financial fraud. Anyone asking you for investment money must be licensed. You're careful with your money. Fraudsters aren't. Before you invest, call our hotline at 1-800-222-1253 to verify the licensing of the person making an offer and the product. Don't lose your hard-earned money. Learn to protect yourself at asc.alabama.gov. Paid for by the Investor Protection Trust and brought to you by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
There's nothing like hearing the songs you love on local radio with no subscriptions and no monthly fees. But there's a new bill in Congress that could stop the music. If passed, this bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text local to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music, local news, weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Nick Saban calls it the process. John Maxwell said that everything rises and falls on it. And Coach Wooden said it's what you learn after you think you know it all that makes the difference. What am I talking about? Leadership and personal development. Is your organization, your school, your church, your family, are they receiving the proper level of leadership development and personal development? If not, the Empowerment Center for Leadership and Mentoring can help you with that. We have our pep talks, which is a 1 to 1.5 hour lunch and learn, which we can customize to meet your needs, or we have some topics that we present that we know can help your organization. And if you're looking for one-on-one mentoring and coaching, we can also assist you with that. Visit peptalks35.com. That's peptalks35.com, or send an email to martin@martinhouston.org. That's the Empowerment Center for Leadership and Mentoring.
Welcome back to the Martin Houston Show, the sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team. On your home for Alabama sports, Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show. Let's see. I'm trying to get to some football, but I love talking basketball. Y'all know that I've said it numerous times that I am a basketball player trapped in a football body. I am going to get to some football, but I asked the question as we were going to break, who's been the most dominant program in the last 6 years or so? And CJ Watson asked a question. He said, should Gonzaga get rid of Mark Few? He hasn't won a title, only one Final Four, I think. I think he was in the Final Four in 2018, maybe, or somewhere around that, 2017. And then last year, so he's got there a couple times. But here's the thing. He's gotten to the Final Four from Gonzaga. Right, Mason? And if Gonzaga can get there, why can't Alabama? So is it coaching? Is it talent? What is it that allows Gonzaga to get there? What is it about that program, that has made them consistently, be in the conversation? And that's why I'm telling you, Final Four is more about Final Four than it is about the national title. You want the national title, but you get to the ring of honor as a coach if you get to the Final Four. Agree or disagree, Mason?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So in your opinion, which program is the Final Four? I mean, been the most dominant in the last 6 years, 5-6 years.
I would say I kind of lean towards like Villanova.
Yep. That's who Curtis Moore II had. That's who I have. Jay Wright, to me, seems to always have his team ready to play. And right now he's 2 for 2 when he's gotten to the Final Four, meaning he went on to win the national title. So he's looking to go, make it three in a row when they've gotten there. I should say the last two in 16 and in last year. And the only year, and I'm not sure that they weren't one of the better teams in 2020, Mason, if we hadn't had the season, changed. But what do you think is the ingredient to Villanova, the Providences of the world, and all of that? Do you think they really recruit better talent than Alabama, Gonzaga, all that, just right off the bat?
I don't know that it's necessarily that they recruit better overall talent, but I think the level of buy-in from the guys that goes to those programs, and a lot of those guys that are staying there for 4 years, I think the level of buy-in is just a little different from guys who are going somewhere to just be a one and done. Like a J.D. Davison type who I don't really know that he ever really bought into the system this year fully.
Yeah, and you made my point. I take a 22-year-old basketball player that understands the game. How does St. Peter's do what they did? They weren't anywhere close to being as talented as the teams they. But you know what? They've been executing that system for a while, and they executed it to perfection. And that's what that maturity, and that's why I asked the question earlier on: does Alabama want to become that one and done culture? Because can we get there if we become that? Should that be our model? And I don't think he's recruiting them to be one and done, but that may be where we're headed, right? So it's just a thought. I'm just throwing it out there. Villanova, to me, they do have some guys that's good enough, but most of the time they have multi-year guys who buy, as you said, into the program. Gonzaga has some big time guys, but most of the time they have multi-year guys. And I think Mark Few and Jay Wright are also really, really good coaches that have a system that works no matter who they go against. So, all right, we got a couple callers. I think we had George from Macon. You're on with the Martin Hughes Show. What's on your mind, sir?
You doing? Georgia had an opportunity to win another national championship. What was it, 12 years ago with Mark Richt? What, the second to the last year, the one where C.J. Mosley tipped the ball and taxed the guy with, 5 seconds to go?
Yeah, I mean,
if Georgia would have won that game, they'd have beat Notre Dame, and then they'd have a national championship, and then Kirby Smart would not be their coach.
Well, I mean, if there was no Nick Saban, Mark, I mean, you have to understand, it's a double whammy. Mark Richt would have probably won multiple national titles, and because several of those Georgia kids that were coming here would have been at Georgia. It's a double whammy.
That was if Curtis, I guarantee you this, if we were to win a national championship in basketball, he would want to win more if he cared. It's kind of like the Heisman Trophy, Martin. Back when Bear Bryant was there, and Coach Stalling winning the Heisman Trophy was not something we went for because we believed more in team, so we didn't care about it. Now that we've won 3 of them, we want more. It's that sort of thing, the way I look at it. Once you get into the fray of it, you want more of them. And I'm along with you. Villanova, Jay Wright, I think that he's a fantastic coach. And I think that because their players are developed and stay there longer, and also I think a lot of these schools are recruiting international players that are, like you say, 22, 23, 24 years old, and they stay at the school for 3 or 4 years. I think that makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, I totally agree. I've told people numerous times the 1 year between my 4th year and my senior year at Alabama, now if you take a freshman, I was pretty decent as a freshman. I'm talking about not my red shirt, not the year I was red shirt. I'm talking about the first year I ever played at Alabama. In the senior, I would absolutely destroy that freshman. I mean, I was so much better my senior year. It's not even close how much, the gap. But I was playing as a freshman. And that's what I'm saying is that maturity. It clicked my senior year. It was the 3rd year in that offense. It was the 3rd year that I had to do the same thing, and I just got better and better and better. And I think that's what happens in basketball. So,
I agree with you. Mark, I don't see Davidson. Everybody thinks he's going to have an opportunity. I don't see it. His shot is very inconsistent. So he shows flashes of brilliance,
and that's
not consistent at all.
But that's all they want. That's what they see. That what you just said. Why, if he leaves, that's why he'll go. Is that he has those flashes of brilliance, and you have to understand the ego of coaches, right? If I'm a coach and I can get that out of him, coach. And I'm not. This is not Martin saying this. I'm saying this is what the NBA coaches are saying about Davidson. In my system, he would be much better than he was in Nate Oates' system. Nate did not maximize his potential. That's what they say. And you can't teach in basketball, in football, you can't teach speed, right? You can't coach speed. I mean, you can't coach speed of the 4-2, 4-3 version, and you can't coach size like Evan Neal. Well, you can't coach the athletic ability that JD Davison has in terms of he has that, and meaning that you can't put somebody out there. When I say you can't coach it, I'm not talking about you can't coach that player. I'm saying there's nothing in your playbook that's going to make somebody athletic like JD Davison, jump out the roof, explosion down the court, his quick feet, his quick hands. He has all of that. We just didn't see it consistently. But I think I could, as a pro coach, I'm going to think I can get that out of him, and that's why it's that way.
Well, the thing about it is our system is guard dominating. Our guards dominate the ball. I mean, they kick out or pass out or pass. And that should be what he does the best because, that was the problem with our team. All our guards wanted the ball in their hands all the time.
Well, I think
picked up at the right time.
Mason, George, I have to go, but I'll say this: I think they coached JD Davison into a lot of those turnovers. I think they coach instead of him finishing at the rim. I think he was so trying to get assists, kick the ball out. When he was his best was when he was attacking the rim and finishing. But
I agree.
But I think they wanted him to drive and kick to get that three. And that's what it looked like. I don't know that. All right. Hey, I got a couple other calls I got to get to on the other side. Thanks, George. Appreciate it. All right, Chuck, hold on to the other side. Ryan, hold on to the other side. You listen to the Martin Houston Show on Tide 100.9. Thanks to the great folks over at Alabama One. Go check them out. All the great financial services you need. A couple great promotions to help slow down the impact of increasing interest rates. That's the credit card transfer promotion and the home equity line of credit. Both coming with great options. Going to save you some money as well as reduce the impact of those increasing interest rates. AlabamaOne.org. Alabama One together.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
From the Townsend Eastside Traffic Center, no active wrecks. Things moving pretty well. The interstate is pretty heavy out toward Mercedes. If you see other conditions, just give me a call. Just 3 more days to take advantage of the tremendous savings month-end clearance at Townsend Eastside. They're your hometown dealer. Go see them. You'll save. I'm Captain Ray.
Here's what's trending on the Tuscaloosa thread. Good Tuesday morning, 2 people were injured, 1 critically in a shooting in West Tuscaloosa Monday night. Martin Sellers, the commander of the Tuscaloosa Crimes Unit, alerted local media to the shooting around 10:15 last night. Sellers said police were called to a shooting in the 3000 block of 27th Street, not far from Carlton Park in West End. Upon arrival, they found 2 victims suffering from gunshot wounds. Extent of their injuries not known at this time. Click TuscaloosaThread.com for more. Don Hartley, Town Square Media, Tuscaloosa.
Hello, this is Martin Houston with the Martin Houston Show, and I want to tell you about Tuscaloosa Custom Carving. If you're looking for a way to add value to your home, make your flower beds pop, make your landscaping stand out from your neighbors, then Tuscaloosa Custom Carving can help you do just that. They have numerous styles, but they feature the Moroccan Stone Curve series, which includes 4 great styles and unlimited color choices. That's Tuscaloosa Custom Carving. They are the one that can help you stand out from your neighbors. Tuscaloosa Custom Carving, 205-331-6823. You may also find yourself with the need for a custom size stone or custom shaped stone. Then Tuscaloosa Custom Carving can help with that as well. Paul Fuller and his team are waiting on your call right now for that free quote. And if you tell them that Martin Houston with the Martin Houston Show told you to stop by, you'll get a big discount. So call Tuscaloosa Custom Carving at 205-331-6823 or visit them online at Tuscaloosa Custom Carving, LLC.
Dell's semi-annual sale is the perfect opportunity for a significant business upgrade. Save up to 45% on Dell computers with Windows 11 Pro and get an easy start to your workday. Plus, enjoy special pricing on Dell docks, monitors, servers, and more, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today to find the right tech for your business with fast free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Parents, do you want your child's shoes to fit perfectly? Then you need to get your kids Skechers Stretch Fit shoes because Skechers Stretch Fit shoes easily slip on and fit almost like a sock. And not only do they fit like a dream, they perform like one too. Skechers Stretch Fit keeps your child's feet comfortable all day long with Skechers exclusive air-cooled memory foam. Plus, you'll love just how durable they are. And if they get dirty, just pop them in the washing machine. Skechers Stretch Fit shoes. Find them at a Skechers store near you, Skechers.com, or wherever kids' shoes are sold.
Colorectal cancer doesn't stop for COVID-19. Hello, I'm Dr. Cecilia Barrington. If you are age 45 or older, it's time to return to care and get tested. The government requires insurance companies to cover not only colonoscopy, but a range of tests, including virtual colonoscopy and other less invasive exams. Talk to your doctor about your options today. For more information on virtual colonoscopy, visit radiologyinfo.org.
The sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team. The Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show. It's now time for the Alabama One Insurance 2-minute warning. Alabama One Insurance, your one source for all your insurance needs. Go to alabamaoneinsurance.com. We will review your policies, reduce your rate, and you can relax knowing that you're properly covered. That's right. Review, reduce, relax. That's what we promised at Alabama One. All right, let's go to Chuck. Chuck, you're in with the Martin Houston Show. What's on your mind, sir? Chuck, you there?
About this. Oh, yes, I'm here.
What's on your mind, sir?
Okay. All right. Yes, you were talking about Gonzaga and all the different programs. I look at Gonzaga, how far they've come. Before then, Gonzaga was just a school that said that's what John Stockton played college ball. But now, look at what Mark Few has turned that program into. And they went to their first national championship game in 2017. They lost to North Carolina, and then they went last year and lost to Bama. And he's ball, and the kind of players they're getting now, they're getting those kind of ball players, guys who are McDonald's High School All-Americans, those kind of players that they're getting. And you talk about Villanova, I think about Villanova, how Villanova's had great teams for years, and they go back to the 70s, they talk about Howard Porter, but then came Ronnie Massimino coaching, and we know what happened there. They beat Georgetown in '85. That really put them on the center stage, and look at where they've been from that point on. Look at what Jay Wright has done with that program. And a lot of those programs, and I look at a school like Providence College. Providence doesn't have football, and that's why they've had some good teams through the years. Like you talk about John Maloney and Dave Gavitt, and Rick Pitino coached there briefly. He took them to the Final Four. They lost to Syracuse in '87. But they just keep on growing today. Even today, they have a great program. Ed Cooley, he has done a great job with that program. And but like I said, schools like they don't have football, they kind of come out better. You look at the type players that they're getting. And I know Villanova has football, and that's what Howie Long plays. But Villanova, that's basketball power. That's the reason why they're in the Final Four this year.
Yeah, I would agree, and it makes you sometimes wonder: is it better not to? I mean, for some of these basketball schools, you would think it would help them recruit better football players or basketball players because not Houston, when Florida was good, it was because the coaches worked together. When they had their little run there, they worked together. So, and you would think that would benefit Nick Saban, help you recruit guys, but it shows you that maybe sometimes ego also gets in the way of these coaches and things like that. I got one more call I had to get to. Thanks for that insight, Chuck. Appreciate you, sir.
All right, you take care. You have a great week.
You too. All right. Ryan, you're in with the Martin Hughes Show. What's on your mind, sir? Ryan? Hello, are you there, Ryan?
I think we lost Ryan.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, of course, it ended up being an all all basketball show. I tell you what, tomorrow we'll switch gears over to some football. Think some things to think about for tomorrow as we prepare for the show. Uh, kind of think through which wide receivers are going to have the breakout season. Um, is it possible with all the new pieces that this offense will actually be better than last year's offense? Think about that. We talked a little bit about the Tyler Steen situation yesterday. We can dig into that a little bit more. Is he going to be needed by the Crimson Tide, or will they find a guy this spring with that offensive line? We need to dig deeper into the tight end position. If I'm sitting here right now, that may be my biggest worry and concern in terms of um, the football program. Is that your biggest concern? What's your biggest concern as we're a third of the way through spring practice, coming up on a big scrimmage this weekend? We can talk about who you want to see, what you're going to see, who's going to be the breakout player for this weekend. Then also tomorrow's pro day. Which guys need to have a big day tomorrow? Can Slade Bolden redeem himself on tomorrow? Slot receivers need to be quick and fast, more quick than fast, but he can't have the slowest time and get into that draft where he needs to. What other Bama guys need to have a great day at pro day? There's some conversations out there that's starting to say that, hey, Evan Neal may be falling a little bit in the draft. We'll look at that. Is he going to be the first guy off the board? Is he going to be the first offensive tackle taken? Like I said, all of those different things need to be discussed, and we will discuss them right here on the Martin Houston Show. So I want to invite you back to the conversation. Hey, make sure you tell your family and friends about this station, this show, the Martin Houston Show. We kick things off every day from 6 to 7 on Tide 100.9. And then we hand it off to Wimp and Barry every morning. And then, of course, Gary Harris picks things up and takes us throughout the day. So, I mean, it's just, Jacob Harrison, Jay Barker, Ryan Fowler. Just great shows, great programming all day long right here on your home for Alabama Sports, Tide 100.9. I'm Martin Houston. That's Mason. Woods behind the glass, pressing all the right buttons. Thanks to all the callers, listeners, viewers, and chatters for being a part of the program today. We'll be back here tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. And remember this, trust in the Lord always, lean not your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Roll Tide, everybody. Have a blessed day.
Thank you for listening to the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Have a good day, Mark.
Tide
You too, Mason.
Traffic.